Hello, my creative friends. It's Heather North here from heatherscreativeblessings.com. I'm here with a super simple, easy to duplicate card. We're going to be making Christmas cards today, but you could easily turn this into any kind of card you want. I have two different colors of cardstock. They're both 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, Whisper White and Lost Lagoon, but you can just choose one. I like to vary up each card a little bit so I don't get bored. The sentiment comes from Merry Christmas Messages. It's a Hero Arts stamp. You could use any message you want here. To make sure my sentiment is straight, I'm going to use the grid mat. First, I lined up my stamp on one of those lines and then picked it up with my clear block. Now I'm going to take the Lost Lagoon ink from Stampin' Up. The paper's also from Stampin' Up. I don't think I mentioned that. I'm just going to ink up this stamp, and then I'm going to line up my cardstock using the grid mat lines to get it straight and even, and then just stamp in the center of the bottom of my card. I'm going to repeat this for the Whisper White cardstock as well. I have here the All Is Calm washi tape from Stampin' Up. It matches the designer series paper they came out with for Christmas. And I really wanted the washi tape to be the star of this card. So what I've done is I'm lining up my T-square ruler with the bottom of my page, and then the ruler is going up approximately in the middle of my piece of cardstock. You could also use your grid mat here or just eyeball the middle. I like having a ruler though to get this first piece of washi tape as straight as I can. And then I'm going to build up adding washi tape on either side in different patterns. As you can see, the washi tape tears very easily. It's a really thin, like tissue paper tape. You could cut them if you wanted them to all be even or all be cut at the same angle, but I really like this torn look. It just adds to the card, in my opinion. As you can see, it's a little bit repositionable. You can pull it up and move it around if you need to. But I'd be careful. The Stampin' Up! Washi tape is very sticky, and it does tend to pull up your cardstock if you're not careful when you lift it up. The great thing about it, though, is once you do have it stuck down, you know it's going to stay where you put it. And as you can see, that piece was a little bit long. It went into my sentiment, so I was able to just rip it off. I'm going to keep adding different patterns on either side until I have the look I want and the width I want. I'm going to be using some Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere these pieces to my card bases. Both card bases are Whisper White cardstock, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 once it's folded. I repeat each step on all of my pieces before moving on to the next step. I think this makes cards go faster when you have to make multiples. I'm then going to center my washi pieces onto my card bases and press them down to adhere them. One of the elements for this week's Merry Monday challenge is to use a snowflake. I'll be showing you the cards I made for that challenge later on. But what I used was the Eliza snowflake die from Simon Says Stamp. If you have an electric die cutter, this is a great time to use it to make those multiple cuts. And I cut it out of this silver foil paper from Stampin' Up! And also the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper. It's a white glittery paper, so pretty. I also cut out a couple of extras in just Whisper White cardstock. And here I'm just going to play around with the different snowflakes I have to see which color I like on which cardstock. I just have a scrap piece of cardstock I'm going to use so that I can see my snowflake a little bit better. This is the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper, and I'm just adding some Tombow Mono multi glue to the back of my snowflake. I add just a tiny bit of glue because I don't want it smushing out all over the place. I think that it will really show up against that washi tape if it does. It's important to press down on your snowflake to make sure that you have a good adhesion. And then I found with especially this glimmer paper and the washi tape, I needed to put something on top of it to just press it down for a little while. So I just took that clear block and I'll set it aside to dry and work on my next piece. The glimmer paper is pretty thick, but the foil paper isn't quite as thick. So I'm going to add some dimension by just layering the two Whisper white snowflakes that I've cut out together. I have here my two-way glue pen. I'm just adding glue all over the snowflake, and then I will line up one on top of the other. I'm going to use the two-way glue pen again to adhere the silver foil piece to the white cardstock. My original plan was to use some of these mini glue dots from Stampin' Up. I just roll them into a fine line and then hide them on the back of the snowflake. This is what I did with my Merry Monday challenge cards, but I decided that with these I was just going to lay them flat. So I brought back in my scrap piece of paper and my Tombow Mono multi-glue. This glue is a little bit stronger than the two-way glue pen, so I like to use it to hold this onto my card so that it won't come off, hopefully. And now I have two more cards to add to my Christmas collection. Besides these winter blue cards, I also made two neutral cards for the Merry Monday challenge. This has the crumb cake cardstock, and you can kind of see the dimension added from using the mini glue dots. I embossed my sentiment and my snowflake and added stitch lines with an early espresso pen. And then for my very vanilla card, there you can see the dimension if you want to add the glue dots. I used a gold foil similar to that silver foil from Stampin' Up, and I also cut out my sentiment using the same silver foil. If you are watching on YouTube, I'll have a link to today's blog post where you can see more pictures, the supply list, and the link to the Merry Monday challenge. If you like this card, I hope that you will hit the like button and give it a try. And if you want to see more videos from me, be sure and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Bye.